Hey, what's up, Neil?
How you doing, Cal?
I am doing great, thank you. So we are in the green room again,
Yes.
but we have shifted the table. And here we are, season three, episode 18. There's only two microphones, so that must mean only one thing, that we're doing a remote episode. And we have a couple of really special guests with us. Blank Page, and it is Avery and Jack, right? So welcome
Yeah.
to the show.
Yes, thank you so much for having
Yes.
us.
Yes. Thank you.
That was their sweet song.
Yes, to the
Oh,
grave, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So I don't know if you guys could hear it there, but yes, we had it playing. Hopefully they'll hear it through the mics. But one amazing song, absolutely love it.
yes.
And so one, who are you guys? How about you fill us in on Blank Page real quick, and we'll just kind of go from there.
Yes, thanks again for having us. My name is Jack,
I'm Avery.
and together we are Blank Page. We are recently graduated from high school, and she's 19, I'm 18. We put out our first EP last year, played over 100 shows the past 2 years, just trying to grind, kind of in the country Americana world, but a little bit of everything.
Yeah. And we just moved to Tennessee. We're now attending Middle Tennessee State University and
Okay.
Nashville music scene a little bit.
Trying our
Right.
best.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the one thing I did notice, because obviously I've been following you on social media for quite a while, was you put a story out saying how you kind of been taking it easy from that, doing academics, everything else, and getting recharged. Which, I mean, obviously you guys literally just graduated high school, so um, that was actually we just did that kind of right. You take a break, recharge, and get ready to kind of go do it again. And it says a lot about people your age to recognize that. So one, I wanted to acknowledge that.
Yes.
Really huge.
Yes. Thank you so much. That was like the first time we've like done that since we really started all this, like just took a step and especially now being away from so far away from family. We're from Maryland originally. I don't know if we said that already, but we're originally from Maryland, obviously Tennessee to Maryland, so pretty far distance. So all of our family's back there, and we flew back for just a random fall break weekend and just completely detached from all of the social media. And we were still like doing, we still were writing and everything, but just
Right.
needed to step back for a minute. It's like so important, and it's really like cleansing, which we haven't. Like I said, we haven't done that yet. So
Yeah, because we're the type of people with our career, like we will do anything to make this happen. We are go-getters, and unfortunately nowadays, like if this was 20 years ago, the amount of people we've opened for and shows we played would be like enough to get a door down. Now we could play all these cool shows, this, that, and the other, but you don't have 1,000 views, you don't have 10,000 views on TikTok. No one cares. So it's like you got
Exactly.
consistently posting even
I think
when.
it's pretty amazing, actually. Mature of you, actually, to recognize that. I mean, do you have any backing by that? Like, would say, hey, or anybody that would tell you, hey, we should, a manager, if you will, or are you guys just two
Just doing it on your own.
doing it on your own?
we're it.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, Lord, that's
So
amazing.
no, and I
Trying
heard you
our-
say 100 shows over 2 years. I mean, you guys have been literally grinding. I mean, nonstop. So yeah, you guys earned that break, especially if you're going to college now too, right? That's got to be quite a bit, right?
A lot, especially we're almost at midterm season, our first midterm season. So I was like, okay, we really need to like lock in and focus on academics and family and stuff. And that's why I posted that the other day, just to let everyone know that.
All right, cool. No, absolutely. And that was going to bring up how we kind of actually met, right? Even though it's the first time we ever spoke, was it was the end of March, and I went to see the War and Treaty at St. Andrews Hall in Detroit. So it's kind of a hometown show for them, and actually they were recording it for like a concert video or whatever. And oh my God, it was the first time I ever saw them. It was amazing, so much
That was
fun.
the first time you had seen them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was the first time. So I mean, for me, we started this 2.5 years ago, April of 23. We have no musical background whatsoever. And just I've always loved going to concerts since I was 15 and did that, got married, had kids, they're graduated and off, I'm divorced. And just was kind of bored and didn't have something I was passionate about. So I started going to shows again and talked to Neil. We've known each other for 30 years. We played soccer in college together. Then the like over 100 shows together, and so now we're just doing it all over again, but same thing, just grinding on social media. And we just got 100, or I mean, 1 million views on YouTube a couple weeks ago,
That's about
you
that.
know,
Nice.
yeah, which in 2.5 years, all organic, just having fun. The key is, music's the only thing that connects us all, and like back when we were growing up, you'd have tapes and you'd, copy them, share it. That's how you learned about music. And that's kind of what Two Dudes is all about. So when I posted those videos, I started seeing you guys like it or whatever. And then I realized you actually have a connection with the Warren Treaty. Like, what is that connection kind of, and how did that all come about?
Yeah, so when we were talking about, starting doing shows and we are like, we need a name now. This is getting real. We're going at it. And at the time, the Warren Treaty were much less popular than they are now. They had just put out their EP on the first major label. They were obviously an established act, had been grinding, but like Blank Page wasn't a huge song that anyone had heard of. So we figure we love the bands, we love the meaning of the song, we can name it after them, and it would be a nice little like little known fun fact. It's a Warren Treaty song. Check them out. And then like later that year, the song ends up getting nominated for a Grammy. Zach Bryan picks them up. They do Hey Driver. They're selling out all these shows. And like, they just completely blew up. And we had posted a cover of their song and they reached out. Michael sends us a video. He's like crying. He's so touched. He's like, y'all have to sing with us. And then their DC show, because we're from Maryland, they sold out their show in DC because Tanya has a lot of family in DC. So they're like Michigan, but DC's also kind of like a hometown show for them also.
Gotcha. Sure.
We pulled out and they brought us out to sing with them. I was like, this is just insane.
Yeah.
And then from that, Max Brown, their band leader, is the one who ended up recording our whole EP for us.
Okay.
Not only did we get that singing in front of a sold out crowd with them, we ended up being able to release our first EP because of it too.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
It was really an amazing story. So how many people in that sold out crowd were there?
I think it was 800.
Around
Around
800.
It was the Hamilton Live.
Okay.
It was insane.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. And
yeah, like a year ago, we were the people in the crowd.
right.
Just of it, but now
Right.
we're literally on stage with them. It was unreal.
I always say that things always happen for a reason, but positivity draws positivity. And that was the one thing at being at their show, everyone had so much fun. It was so positive. And, and hearing how you guys it all worked out, it's really not surprising to me, but unbelievable story nonetheless, right? That's amazing. So you mentioned, the 100 shows. I know you did some festivals, and stuff like that. What was some of those like in the last, and who were some of the headliners
And so it's been a crazy ride. We started just doing local shows, anyone that would let us play. When we were seniors in high school, I didn't do classwork. I was just sending out booking emails, harassing radio stations, venues, festivals, anyone.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're having us.
That's the only way they knew us. They knew us by the duo that would not stop harassing them.
Right.
Love it.
We got there and played.
Yeah, so
I get that a lot too.
It's gotta happen.
I never walk around without a sticker.
The first big one, there's a local show that our radio station does for St. Jude in December every year. And we had been going every year as fans, front row, and they always have a local act. So I'm like, that's going to be us, no doubt about it. So the first day after the concert ends, everyone in WPOC is hearing from me. And finally we get the right contact. And it was Chris Lane, George Burge, and Chase Matthew. But just the fact that we were able to play, and that was over 1,000 people. That was bigger than the Warren Treaty crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a full 45-minute set of our music. And the people loved it. We had merch that we were selling, and everyone was asking us to sign stuff. That was definitely the first, okay, we're making a step here. But we also done Froggy 107's
WMZQ with that was at a
Jiffy Lube Live.
Jiffy Lube Live in
That
Virginia. That was for Dierks Bentley's Zach Top.
John Morgan,
John
Graylin
Morgan.
James, Band Lula.
Yeah.
And
So I
then
mean,
we
you guys have been there with some of the biggest country acts out there, really, right?
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. We got to meet Dierks Bentley too at that show, and we shows as a fan, so that was super cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, did I see somewhere too that Kane Brown also you opened for something where he was there as well? Because he was actually my very first country show ever, just like two
Really?
years ago. And we
I saw
always say here, no genre's off limits, but it was just never something I listened a lot to. And actually, my brother is a huge country fan now, so I've been more exposed. And Kane Brown was my first one. And then I just went to Bourbon and Beyond in Louisville.
that
Um,
was
4 days. That was amazing. And a lot of good country acts, a lot of good Americana. Nathaniel Rateliff was amazing. You know, one of the ones I had to see. So um, I did Lollapalooza last year, Bourbon Beyond this year. I've never been a huge festival guy, and I am now, though. I mean, it's so much fun. There's so much different music, so many different kinds of people. It's just a great environment, you know.
Yeah, the Kane Brown was crazy because we had just moved to Tennessee when we got the email. And I had seen Kane Brown a couple of years before because Darius Rucker was opening up for him at Fenway, and I'm a huge Darius fan. So I was kind of like really going for Darius, but then Kane Brown was incredible. So I got his shirt and I was wearing the shirt. And
I
she comes
got the shirt.
after we just moved all this, we're on the third floor of our apartment building, moved all the stuff up. We're
On
exhausted.
the third day of moving into our apartment in
And
Tennessee.
we're like, finally, we are settled in Tennessee. We'll be back in Maryland for Christmas. We don't have to worry about it. And then she comes with this email, Meriwether Post Pavilion, WPOC asked us to play. I'm like, now we're flying back this weekend. I mean, this is the pavilion that we've seen all of our favorite headliners. There's like 20,000 people in the crowd when we
Oh
went
my
on.
God.
We've been there, all of our favorites.
So now you're playing places that you used to go and see shows at. Now you're actually playing them.
Yeah, it was a dream come true. And we got to meet all of the artists. My favorite was Shabuzi. When I met Shabuzi, I was on cloud nine. He was
That's awesome.
doing the thing. I'm like,
He
I
this
was
mean,
is
of course, everyone knows Shabuzi, though, right? Now,
yes.
I mean, fine. I think
Yeah.
everyone in the world pretty much knows.
Yeah. He took a picture with our business card. He's like, y'all better listen to Blank Page telling everyone in the room.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
Lord.
what is happening?
That's amazing.
He's so
That's
cool.
awesome. So, I
It was-
mean, we've always been fans of Americana and that kind of Wilco, Sunvolt, obviously. I don't know. You guys are much younger than us, so I don't know what the kids are listening to nowadays, but no, so kind of going back to that, your musical background. I mean, you are literally just graduated high school. Where does that all come from? When did you
Yeah.
guys meet? What's the story
How
there?
about like, are you guys like, are your parents like, what's the musical like Cal just said, like background? Are you just naturally awesome?
Well, so my dad and my dad's side of the family, no, they don't
Nothing.
touch music at all. They don't like my dad isn't even really like a huge like he's not crazy about like music in general. Like he likes it, but like my mom was in all county chorus and my grandfather played some instruments and in some bands, but otherwise like there's not really much musical
Okay.
background. in my family. It was kind of like I just grew up singing and dancing to everything, and my mom was like, "Yeah, you need to like we need to get some lessons or something." But I was actually really shy and had a lot of stage fright growing up, so I was like kind of scared, and I was very much stuck in like the R&B pop genres, and I would like only sing those genres. And my mom actually told me a lot when I was growing up. She was like, you have to sing country music," and I was just like,
Huh?
oh, I don't really want to. So I didn't until we ended up actually tell your musical background. And then
Well, real quick. Okay, I'll cut you off real quick. So who were your R&B highlights? Because we do a
No genre off limits.
yeah.
yes, okay.
I mean, just one or two.
Well, one thing we talk about, shows you went to growing up, first ones, your Forever Five. So what was some of the kind of R&B and stuff that you may have sang or, whatever?
Because I have a Britney Spears shirt on. Was it
Oh,
Britney
yeah.
Spears?
Yeah. So when I was little, like wee little, Justin Bieber was my first concert.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hell yeah. Come on, Biebs.
That's a great first concert. He's huge.
Yeah. And as I got to like my preteens and teens, still to this day, even Adele is like my top woman. Like
Adele has money.
I love her. She is my favorite. Alicia Keys, super big. Beyonce has always been up there for me as well. And yeah, that's probably like my top three for like the pop R&B.
So,
Sarah Bareilles is another big one for me as well.
Okay, nice.
Concert, that would be amazing.
All right, and then I totally cut you off, and then you can Go
Oh,
ahead.
yes.
Okay.
You
But
tell he's gonna tell his musical background, then
Well,
I'll.
because everything I've seen is multi-instrumentalist Jack.
Come on back
Strange
up.
little
But no,
variety.
it always amazes me that people, I was saying to someone earlier, like, one, I've tried, you pick up a guitar and it's like amazing that what people can do. I go, but for me, it's the drums. They have four different things doing different things at different times. And just music in general amazes me. So, yeah, I can't wait to hear how you kind of started with all the different music and instruments.
Grew up on country music. Country music's like I like other things. I listen to R&B, pop, rap. I like everything, but country music has always been like my favorite. Before I could sing, before I could play guitar, I just loved country music, was obsessed with it. And so we go to went to the same high school. We're not in high school anymore.
Yeah,
We're
we
all
went.
grown up now, but we went to the same high school. And it was a performing arts school. So she was singing at like a school fundraiser event and she was singing Make You Feel My Love. And I always loved Sugarland growing up. I always wanted to be in a duo, a country duo. So I'm like, this is country-esque, I'm sure I could convince her. And so I talked her into it to now do and now she loves country.
Uh,
I've always liked country, but I think as I get older, I think when I was younger, I was like intimidated by it. I'm not exactly sure why, but I just never was like, I was always nervous at the thought of dipping my toes into it because I was just like, it's very like distinct,
Well,
and I was like, oh,
we also grew up in a time where country radio was all bro country and there was only 5% women on
that is
radio.
true.
yeah.
That's true too. I mean, it's definitely
Right on.
evolved. I mean, my sweet spot, I always say I graduated in 93. So from hair metal through grunge. And then that's where I started to kind of listen to more Americana stuff or like Ben Harper. I don't know if you're familiar with him at all. Um, and kind of went that route. And country was never on the radar. I will say I used to do a lot of work in Ohio, and whenever I'd go to the bars, it'd always be playing and there'd always be live people. So I always appreciated it. But I
Yeah.
always, I was a CD guy. I always had my favorites. And my whole thing is watching people play music, sing live, and do all that. If you can't appreciate it, you're doing it wrong, no matter what genre it is. And
Yeah.
and listening to, you know, your guys' songs, I mean, you're all across the board country, and there's parts of the like bluegrass in there. And I mean, I love the harmonies. I was always a Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young guy, so stuff like that I always love. So yeah.
Well, I guess I would kind of like piggyback on Cal right there. I mean, I'm 2 years younger than him. Doesn't even matter. I'm 48, he's 50. Um, but like,
5-0.
but like Garth Brooks, like that was early 90s, late 80s, like I didn't really get into George Strait, which I don't know if you guys are familiar. I mean, I'm sure you are. I know you are, but it was Garth Brooks and Reba McEntire and Shania Twain. That was what we got in the early 90s, like of course there was everything there, but I mean,
90s we had a lot of women, and then like late 2000s when we were like really developing our taste, women just disappeared. You had
Right.
James Grant, but that was it.
Yeah, yeah.
Thankfully now we're kind of realizing, oh, women, we got Lainey Wilson now, Kelsey's huge, Ashley McBride, Carly Pierce. So
Yep.
we're trying
Yeah.
to get
My brother saw Lainey Wilson not too long ago.
she's
Yeah.
incredible.
She's
Huge
amazing.
fan, absolutely. And the other big thing is like a huge resurgence, and I'm probably late to the game because is like the bluegrass, right? And we have out of Kalamazoo, Michigan, Green Sky Bluegrass.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just saw them back in August for the first time. So I always love seeing a Michigan band for the first time and that. But I mean, oh my God, they're huge. They did like their 20th show at Red Rocks or something. And when I was at Bourbon and Beyond, I actually caught. Are you familiar with Rhonda Vincent? She's
Yes.
a bluegrass.
Did a lot of session work back in the day. Now she does her own stuff.
Okay, yeah. And you know what? They did a damn Beatles cover. That was like the coolest thing ever. If you actually check out our YouTube channel, you can see a video of it.
There's actually right now, it's like what's up, what's going on. The four non-blondes is like getting covered in country all the time, and
I
then
saw, yeah.
shit.
getting covered in country all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
Eighth grade when that came out?
yeah. And actually, I did see that they play actually Four Non Blondes played it live for the first time in almost like 30 years or something.
Is
Not,
that playing that song?
like pretty recent, like in a super long time, it was like a huge deal. But that is one thing I've noticed a lot of country nowadays because I've actually been listening to more a lot of good covers.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I caught Muscadine Bloodline at Bourbon and Beyond. I think they're out of Alabama, if I remember. And they did a cover of Franz Ferdinand, Take Me Out. I don't know if you know that song, but it's amazing. And I just saw Franz Ferdinand like a couple weeks after they did it, so it was like a big completing the circle. But I will say, yeah, I'm definitely more in tune with country than I ever have been, and it's a good thing. Like I said, it's just more music, and I figured the more music, the better, right?
Absolutely.
So, Jack, what was your first concert you ever went to? I don't know if you mentioned that.
First concert. Okay, so this
Do you
is tricky.
remember?
I do, oh, I remember this
You remember?
as I was begging from when I knew what the concept of a concert was. I was asking my parents, when am I going to my first concert? When is this happening? So they were very picky, making sure that my first concert was just perfect, just right. So Keith Urban had announced this tour like a year out, and for Christmas they had got me Keith Urban and Kelsey Ballerini tickets. So I was like, had his set list memorized. I knew every song, was so ready. And then a day in the summertime, our neighbors asked, "You want to go see Zach Brown Band of One Republic?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" So then in the nosebleeds, literal last row, Nationals Park, DC, Zach Brown Band of One Republic were actually my first concert. And
That's hilarious.
like this big
Yeah.
from where I was, but I was like, this is insane. This is what I want to do. That was awesome. And the Zach Brown band, their half that show was a cover show. Like they did their hits and stuff, and then they just do everything from rock. They do rap. They just do everything.
Uh-huh.
Like this is insane. This is like what I want. They were country. They did all their country stuff, but then they could play anything. They could
All
sing
right.
anything they wanted. I was like, that was insane. And
How
then I
old were you when that was? Do you remember?
10 or 11.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 15 for my first show. It was Aerosmith with Joe and Jet and the Blackhearts opening up. But I've always taken my kids. I think the earliest was, I think it was like 5, 6, and like 11 or 12, something like that. But because of that, I have seen the Jonas Brothers twice.
No shame.
But I will say, great shows. I mean, they were packed and they're talented, and
And
it goes back to what I was saying.
they've been bringing out special guests like every night. They've got connections to everyone. Like it's
Right.
insane. They're bringing out country people, pop people. They put on a. I want to see them. No shame.
I want to see him.
They put on a great show, and I can only imagine how much better it even is now, 15 years later. Because I mean, it was a long time ago. My daughter was like 5, and she's 21 now, I think. And actually, my son happens to be named Avery.
Hey.
Wow.
Yep, he is actually he just turned 19, and the reason I named it is Avery Johnson was my favorite basketball player back in the day. I don't know if you remember that. Dude, he was the coach for the Dallas Mavericks. And I was wondering, Avery, if maybe your parents' favorite basketball player is Avery Johnson as well. And that was like
No, I don't think so.
All right.
I just had to
Swing and a
check.
miss. All right.
But no, in all seriousness, his name is Avery. And so we're always shocked when we find another boy who's named Avery because apparently somewhere along the line it's kind of switched.
Yeah, I know more boy Averys than girl Averys.
Oh my
Like,
God, it's so different in Michigan.
really?
Uh-huh. There was one time I think there was 3 Averys in one class and he was the one boy. And then it's like, I remember running into a friend. It's like, oh yeah, my daughter Avery. I'm like, oh, my son Avery. Which I mean, names are names, It's just
Yeah.
it's always funny to me. But no, yeah, it's like Neil said, we're getting up there. We're still doing the concert thing. We love, having more bands and new music out there, exposing people to it. Um, it's we were just talking earlier, listening to your son. It's absolutely amazing seeing what you guys are doing at your age, and so focused and doing it yourself. I mean, that was kind of one of the questions is, this the management and who's kind of navigating it. And really you're doing it yourself. You're making good contacts with people that are already out there, good quality people, and it seems you're getting really good direction and also going to school. I mean, what are you guys studying?
We are studying commercial songwriting in the recording industry.
Okay.
And also wanted to touch on, I said that we're not like we said we're not backed by anyone, but I will say our family, like
Oh, of
all of
course.
our
Oh,
family,
no.
like huge. Like we a lot of like the booking and everything and all like the merch design and like all that stuff, like we're dealing with, but behind the scenes we always have to shout out our parents because they do so much. They have. We've been performing together since, I mean, starting in school, we were like
Juniors in high
16
school,
and
yeah.
16,
Mhm.
15, 16. So
So we couldn't drive ourselves at first.
couldn't drive ourselves.
Wow.
For a while there, like we couldn't pay for our first order of merch and everything, all the little stuff like that
Oh,
that is
absolutely. I mean, let's
Just
put it
driving
this way.
yeah.
We just got some merch, and right now my mom's in charge of all of it, so it doesn't change no matter what. So yeah, you know, that's what you hope for is you have that great support from family and that inner circle right there, and it sounds like you guys do. So it lets you focus on really, what the end game is, right? And you guys are well on your way.
Yes.
Um, so the one thing I do want to also talk about is your Forever Fives. So I have that in the notes, and kind of the five bands or artists you can't live without when you're on a deserted island. You do have the full Spotify playlist so that anything's out there. Um, you know, Also, before we even get to that, like influences and stuff like that that you guys have had, I'd kind of work that in there too, because, again, your story's amazing. So the more we know, the better.
Yes. Okay, you want to start?
Okay, I'll start. I'll start with influences for blank page.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. Influences first. Let's
Yep.
go. Yeah.
Guitar wise, because guitar is like my first love. Like playing the guitar, that was like Keith Urban, Brad Paisley,
Brothers Osborne.
and now Brothers Osborne.
Mm.
Brothers Osborne, they're in the Forever Five. I'm gonna tell you right now, Brothers
All
Osborne.
right. You got that.
I can bet you money I've seen them live more than anyone else on this planet. But guitar wise, it was like growing up, Keith Urban, Brad Paisley, Brothers Osborne. And then I feel like our songwriting is
Our
genre wise
songwriting-
all over the place.
Yeah,
Like
I think for I think Carly Pierce is a huge one for some of our stripped down, like Flower that's on our EP. Carly
Yep.
Pierce is a huge one. Kelsey Ballerini. Ashley McBride, who
Yeah.
we went to go see her show last night.
So I saw that. Those are
Okay.
some pretty cool pictures from what I saw.
Let me tell you the story. So we were in the venue in Chiefs. She has a bar on the fourth floor. Or on the fifth floor. It's on the fifth floor. And we were the live music venue that was on the third floor of Chiefs. And that's where she was holding one of her residency shows. And we walked in and I'm like profusely sweating. I'm like, okay, I'm like really stressed out in here. There's a lot of people. Like
it's sold out general admission pit.
I'm a little rusty with like this GA pit vibe because when we were like 16 and 17, we were going and like standing front row, like the War and Treaty show we were talking about, like up front, ready to go, standing there for 4 hours, like locked and loaded. I'm not built for that anymore. Like I'm a little rusty. So we got in. I was like, it's really hot in here. I need to like go. So I'm like having a nervous breakdown. I'm like, okay, rooftop, fresh air, it'll be fine. So we walk up there and we're sitting down and I'm like trying to debrief about what just happened to myself and like trying to settle with the fact that I'm rusty in this concert vibe. And Jack went to go fill up my water and I was like, oh, that's great. Okay. So he comes back and he's like, to your right. I'm like, and Ashley McBride is standing right there with Shelly Fairchild, her friend, and her tour manager. And I'm like, no way. So Jack's like pretty much jumping like up and down on the rooftop. Like he was very close to going over, like just jumping like crazy. And I'm like
sweating more.
She's like, come on over, come say hi. So we went over and we talked for like 20 minutes about like our TikToks. I don't know if you saw that we did some videos like trying to open up for her. She saw them and we talked about everything. We talked about our songwriting camp that we did, whole bunch of stuff. But she is like just how she is on stage, like just the nicest, funniest woman ever. And I love her so much. She's in my top 5. Like,
isn't that the best when you meet someone like that and they're exactly like you hope they are and you think they are and they're just the best? That's awesome. Especially when it's like kind of just some random chance thing when it happens like that, you know? Because a
So
lot
like
of times you might catch that might be a bad time to catch people, you know, when it's just like a random thing. So, and I mentioned Ben Harper earlier. He was the same way. I happened to meet him in Toronto earlier this year, and he was just spent like 15, 20 minutes just talking to everyone who just was there, and it was really cool. And it's always nice because you always hear the horror stories, right? Or don't meet your idols because you might be disappointed. So that is awesome.
Well, to the songwriting part, like I like to ask our guests a lot, like how do you even fucking write a song? Like I mean, you guys, I've listened to your guys' songs, and I'm like the lyrics are freaking rad. Like, how do you even? And you don't have
And
to give
put
me
the
the secret, I'm not gonna be,
and then
but
incorporate the music and
yeah,
everything. It's
like
amazing to me. So
as such young people like you all, like how do you even write a song? Is it just poetry? I know I've heard it, but
So have you ever watched the show Songland that was on NBC?
what was it?
Songland.
No.
It
no.
was like so like The Voice or American
Oh,
Idol.
okay. It was the
Yes.
songwriting
Yeah.
reality show or whatever, right?
I had already been playing guitar, singing, learning how to play all these different instruments. I didn't know like I had written songs, but didn't know it was like songwriting. Like I didn't understand what the full
Fair.
concept was. On the
Fair.
show, people come on, they have a song written, and then they work with other writers to customize it for whoever the guest artist is. I was like, what? You can just write songs and do that and have it
Right.
for people? So then I must have wrote like 100 songs just that year that the show came out, just
Okay.
understanding how to do it. But I think that's definitely where it came from for me. And then I wrote
Okay.
yeah, I
it.
I grew up like writing songs, but I wasn't like
Right.
very
I like
I,
that.
yeah, I didn't take myself like seriously in it. I was just like I was set on being Adele's backup singer. I was like, just throw me on tour and I would just sing in the background. Like I'm fine
Yeah.
with that. I was never like I need to like be a singer songwriter and like on stage and front and center. So I never took myself seriously with it, and I second guessed myself a lot of the time. But once we started performing together, he was like, I write a whole bunch and like played me all of his beautiful songs, and I'm like, what? You can
Ah,
do that?
oh
So
wait, I can do that too.
yeah, right. So I
Yeah.
took the first song I really like took the wheel on writing was a song called Underestimated, which we haven't recorded or released or really performed at all before. It's like a super near and dear song about like a really personal experience. And I was like, wow, like if you just take like an experience like that
Okay.
and you like try to like put it on paper in like kind of like a poetry
I love
form.
that answer.
I
Yeah.
he did something called song surgery on it. So I like just poured my heart out in my notes app, and he's like, send it over. And then he does his song surgery and like goes in and tweaks it. All
Hello. Oh my gosh.
It's like it's one beautiful masterpiece now. And I'm like, I
All
love
right.
it.
So you take the experience, you tell the story, and then Jack kind of tweaks it here or there, and then
Puts the
next thing you
pieces
know, you're forming the end product, right? Nice. That's awesome.
All right.
And that's one thing I will say I've always loved the male female back and forth with singing and stuff like that too. Some of my favorite shows, favorite artists have been, um, we went and saw The Head and the Heart not too long ago in Detroit, and so good, and like, and as far as I'm concerned, the more instruments, the better. Like you're throwing a violin here, this or that, and we actually had Ann Harris on with us. She's a violinist out of the Chicago area and went to U of M years ago, but she tours with the band Cracker,
Okay.
and happened to see them just outside Detroit a while ago, and then she was on our show, and another one, just nicest person, like classically trained violin, but she's up there just like, oh my God, it was so. I mean, it was worth the price of admission just watching her that night.
Sure.
And but yeah, so that's where I'm like, then hearing, Jack, how you played multiple instruments and hearing the harmonies back and forth, and like I said, every song I heard almost sounded different. It had we even mentioned one almost had like a little bit of like a disco feel at some point or something. You know what I mean?
What was that?
I
We
don't
were listening. I'm like, and I'm not saying it was Sly and the Family Stone or anything, but it was like Daryl Hall and John Oates. I don't know what it was. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can feel that, whatever it was. But oh my,
right.
you hit it, with us.
And that's the thing, like I mentioned before, is finding new music, and then actually being able to talk to the people that create it. It's just, I mean,
Yeah.
kind of a geeky moment for us, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I mean, you
all
guys
right, so let's get to that the Forever Fives and other influences or that. This is big time here now.
All right.
So what, because I don't know if you know, like we'll do a playlist based on our episode here. So the bands we talk about, your Forever Fives, that's going to be your playlist.
I
And then
like it.
release it on
I
Spotify.
mean, it
So.
better not be Milli Vanilli, but actually, Milli Vanilli's awesome. I would love to. Do you guys know Milli Vanilli?
You have to know the story. The real people were amazing singers.
Yeah,
It's just too bad they weren't given a chance.
I know.
Okay,
Who's first?
you're first.
I'm first. I already said Brothers Osborne.
Yep.
Got that.
Only
Got it.
five. I'm putting Beyonce on there.
Okay.
Fuck yeah, Beyonce.
Beyonce. I'm also gonna put Keith Urban. I've got to have Keith Urban. He's got all of the genres. He did his country stuff for like a first decade or so, and then he just said, "I'll put banjo on it and call it whatever I want."
I feel like a lot of countries kind of gone that way. Some
Yeah,
of it almost feels kind of rock or, kind of poppy rock or something. It's
and
not
that's why
just
I
that
feel like
old, what I'm used to. Carry
yeah,
on.
I love like classic country, and we definitely have some influence of that in our music, but we're never gonna have an album that's just 100% every single song classic country. Like that's just we gotta have some variety in there. We gotta do add some other flavors.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? And that's the thing is you guys end up being the kind of the wave of the future, right? And you take it different directions. You stretch it as far as you can go on that. And next thing you know, people are doing that 20 years from now because Blank Page did it,
Hmm. Heard it here
I
first.
also think country and rock,
Mm-hmm.
they're
They
like
really
best
did.
hug.
Yeah.
Like country and rock are just best friends. I think it just makes it perfect. That also could be just because I love distorted guitar and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, a lot of it's guitar based, right? And a lot of it comes back to like the bass blues guitar or whatever, and then the people just kind of tweak it to their style or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't agree with you more on that.
Yeah, I got Brothers Osborne, Beyonce.
Keith
Keith
Urban.
Urban. All right, so I've got some country. I got Beyonce in there. I'm gonna throw in Snoop Dogg. I love
I love Snoop.
so I can have the rap world in there. And then I would say Carrie
Wow.
Underwood. I'll need to listen to her voice.
Who was the last one?
Carrie Underwood,
Oh, nice.
Oh.
voices of all time.
I think I got mine.
You got yours?
I
You
think
know
I-
that I just want to touch on her real quick because the whole American Idol thing, right? And that was early on where everyone watched it, including me. And I'll never forget. And it kind of reminds me of what you just said, Avery, was like she wasn't doing a lot of the country stuff. And then once she did it, they were like, that's where you need to be, and
Yeah.
that epiphany moment. And I mean, have you heard that before or thought about that yourself almost in parallel?
Yep, definitely. For sure. I was so stubborn about it first, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
no, no country. I can't sing country. I can't do that. And then I
Ha.
did it. Wait, I can, and I
Right.
will. Yeah. Okay. I've got my five, I think.
All right. Fire away.
Harley Pierce, also Brothers Osborne,
I know one of them.
Adele, Ashley McBride, and
Oh my gosh.
wait, okay, I'm second guessing my fifth one. Okay, wait. So I'm between Train
Yeah.
and the Warren Treaty.
Well, you know what? We'll,
Ready?
we'll give you six
Yeah.
since you also had one of Jack's. There we go.
Yeah.
You know what? There's loopholes, and we're the ones that are the masters of it. We make up the rules as we go anyway.
Yeah.
Loophole.
No, so one, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a lot of fun watching you up to this point, and I can't wait to see where you guys go from here. and you have a huge fan in me and Neil at this point, and I
Hell
can't
yeah.
wait to see what else you guys have coming. One, congratulations this far, and good luck on everything moving forward. And can't wait to talk to you guys again. We'll have you on anytime.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you
right
so
on.
much. This was so much fun. And
Yeah, you guys are.
congratulations guys on everything and good luck.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Thank you so
we
much.
appreciate that, and you guys good luck
And
too.
before we go, is there any word or chance getting you guys in Detroit anytime soon?
Oh yeah.
That sounds fun.
That sounds
That sounds
fun.
fun. We've been in talks about doing a tour of sorts next summer, so it's good to know
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Right
No,
on.
that'd be nice. And I mean, there's a lot of awesome venues in Detroit that, I mean, all walks of life play there. So uh, I think hopefully we'll see you there before too long.
I think you're
I think
in
we
the
will.
right spot in Nashville right now, but I mean, Detroit might be, but
Well, Jack White, right?
okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, Detroit's own Jack White, he's in Nashville now. So,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there you go.
so, all right. Well, you know what? Thank you again for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure having you guys here. And we look forward to seeing what you got going on in the future.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so much.
guys.
All
Take
right.
care.
Thank you very
Anglers,
much.
rock on, guys. Thank you very much.
That was awesome.